of the development process of a Zelda game, it really varies. Certain times, Japan will launch a game first. Majora's Mask was a good example of that. In that case, the game was already done before localization started on it. So the story was locked into place and didn't really change much at all. With games like Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess in particular, the localization was happening simultaneously as the games were working towards a simultaneous worldwide launch. And in those cases, of course, there were shifts in the story, not so much in terms of the kind of overarching plot or the main events, but some of the more kind of finer details and some of the explanation of how the story flows are elements that might change a little bit. Well, I think what we know is that the fans certainly like the idea of having the games that connect to one another, and you can see that in clearly some of the games, like the Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks connections between those games, and even with the Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword, really being a story that's going to talk about the creation of the Master Sword, and that in and of itself is in essence going to set up some of the events of Ocarina of Time. And so I think that's kind of where, from a story perspective, it's really great for fans that have been a part of the series for a long time to be able to enjoy those connections between the games. But from a development and creative standpoint, I think there's a feeling that if they come out and explicitly state what a specific timeline is, that kind of locks them into kind of that version of the story and limits their ability to then come up with different ideas for the series going forward. I can't really go into detail about the document itself, as it is what they kind of like to keep it under wraps, but it certainly does kind of bring down their vision for what the overall franchise is and how the games connect to one another.